Welcome everybody, it's tractorchute here for another great Friday challenge game. It is Polar Night one more time here. This map is a great looking map. In the bottom middle of the map, it is our Zerg player. He will be played by Gambit for the red Zerg. In the upper middle portion of the map here, it is the blue Terran being played by VIDDY. So VIDDY is the submitter of this game. He will have his choice out of Marauders, which he will have to build, or with the Marauders, he is going to combine some battle cruisers or some Thors. So it should be fairly interesting here. Both these guys being very polite on their intro, as they do say good luck. And Gambit will start himself off with a good old scouting overlord as expected. Meanwhile, his opponent here, VIDDY, will start with the standard wall off on his ramp. Taking a look at the good old APM, this is a silver versus bronze, VIDDY being silver, opponent being bronze, 21-12. Very good APM count, my good men. And we will get this baby off with a possibly hatch first. We're not going 6 pool, so we'll soon find out what Gambit's going to do here. I'd have to imagine with the 10 workers on the map so far that we will see a hatch first, but we'll just have to wait and find out here. VIDDY's just going to mine the heck out of that here. We'll get himself a barracks. Nobody doing any scouting other than the slow overlord, which did actually stop, so he's actually not going to scout at all, but he will stop at the entrance to the main ramp to his base, or at least the second ramp. The main ramp to the main ramp. There you go. And there we go. Hatchery, our spawning pool does go down at the 12 count there, or 13 count if you want to look at it that way. So not looking to do any sort of rush, not going hatch first. So not entirely sure what Gambit has planned here, but VIDDY is going to go with 1 gas to start this game off. And we'll get the second scouting overlord, which is going to head to the right-hand side. Soon find out where it's going to elect to move itself to, if it's going to be a scouting one or if it will just sit over top of the base here, so it can move out to get itself a third at any point in time. Of course, this is probably the better spot for your third, but either way, this overlord is probably just actually going to scout himself up towards VIDDY's base. VIDDY, in the meantime, still not scouting as of yet, but his opponent is looking to put down a nice early hatchery at the 3-minute mark once it does get down there. And VIDDY does fly that up, is going to go with the Tech Lab as expected. That's all you can do is build Marauders out of that baby, so Tech Lab will allow him to get concussive shells. And we do have the second gas going down for VIDDY as well here, so with the second gas going down does lead me to believe that we might see some battle cruisers and some Thors in this game, as we have not seen that out of the other Terran game that we casted, so it will be fairly interesting once we get into that build there. Like I say, very good combination, especially if you go Marauder slash Battle Cruisers. Pretty intense build there, but at the same time, you do need the time given from your opponent to actually get that build out there. Opponent does finally get the hatchery down here and did exactly what I thought. Does plant himself over top of this base, so might elect to put his third there, but of course could put it here as well. So not entirely sure the placement of all of his overlords here, unless he's going to put one above every single one of the expansions just to delay his opponent. But we'll soon find out what he's actually going to do. He is bronze, so I don't expect anything too intellectual out of him. Not to say he's not a smart man, but to say that his skill level isn't quite there in SC2, so probably won't see anything super special out of him, I wouldn't have to imagine. Although there are some good Bronze League players out there, I will say that much. So I do have a few dogs on the field here. Concussive shells are coming down as well here, so dog count is up to 8. And we do have the 1 Marauder out for our good man of VIDDY now. VIDDY will get himself a factory, so yes, he is going right into the factories, which of course leaves him both options. Still don't know whether or not it's going to be battle cruisers or Thors, but does get himself a second Marauder and is looking to expand or scout. He is looking to expand, as he is going to wall off at the bottom here, so we'll get that wall put down and probably get an expansion shortly after that. In the meantime, the opponent's still working off of just the spawning pool. Don't have any queens on the field. Oh, do have 1 queen. Sorry, where did his queen actually end up here? Queen is at the expansion, so 1 queen on the field so far here. Wouldn't mind seeing 1 put at the main as well here. There we go, right on cue. So we'll get that baby out there for some good old larva injects. And yeah, that's about it so far here. We are going with a Tech Lab, so it does look like Thors are going to be our choice of unit here, so we'll be Thor slash Marauder. Once again, that is very effective as well. Does get himself down to another supply depot. Did he actually end up supply blocking himself there? Yes, he did. Very well done by VIDDY. Much impressive. Silver League. And there we go. We will sit back and relax for a little bit here. His opponent Gambit, a little bit surprising what he's doing here. Can't really judge what he's doing here. I'm not entirely sure. Has himself 2 gas down here, but isn't really teching up or doing anything. Don't have a ton of dogs on the field. He's just kind of macroing the heck out of this game here, as the third hatchery does go down way over here. So like I say, not entirely sure why the overlord's sitting here, but either way, to each their own, my good man. You can get your third wherever you want here. So he's going to put the third way up on the left portion of the map. And he will continue to continue to larva inject this baby, getting a second queen out as well at his natural. So we'll have himself a total of 3 queens on the map. Meanwhile, VIDDY has 4 Marauders, and he is only mining 2 and 3 on the gas for Gambit. VIDDY is going 3-3, much expected, and we'll probably get double gas at his expansion as well, as Thors are a very heavy gas build, and is getting himself down the armory so he can start spitting those Thors out. In the meantime, there it does look like VIDDY will get a full, almost gets a scout off. I was actually going to be quite impressed if he could have outran those dogs there. I was a little bit surprised that he actually got by the dogs. Meanwhile, he's putting the overlords at the back of the map, which is very expected out of bronze. You don't want to use them for scouting, just keep them in the back of the base. They're pretty much useless, right? There we go. Roaches will come down as well here. We do have the Roach Warren hatchery coming out, or hatchery layer coming out as well. So Gambit is starting to tech himself up here. We'll soon find out what the build is going to be there. Of course, mutas are not very handy, especially against Thors. Thors can massacre mutas like you wouldn't believe, especially if you put them on the super air shooting mode there. It does look like VIDDY has planted all of his units down here to wall this off. We'll get the second bunker down as well. And we'll start mining this up. Wouldn't mind seeing the double gas go down here. Mule drop is happening. Very well done by VIDDY, my good old Silver League player. And does get himself down a third Marauder here to sit outside these bunkers here. So that's 5 Marauders altogether. Finishes off the second bunker. Don't know if a third bunker is going to go down. Might be a good idea, or might put up a couple of supply depots here to finish that wall off. Opponent meanwhile has the third finish up, and we'll start larva injecting that baby. And if we look over here, layer technology is just about to finish, and then we'll find out what his build's going to be. More times than not, when you're bronze, we will probably see ourselves some good old mutas, but we'll have to wait and find that out here as the layer just finished up, and it is going to be banelings. Banelings is going to be his choice so far here. Nothing out of his layer technology as of yet, but does have himself a very good gas going here. Very good on the gas. Double gas going there. Double gas at the main, and does finally get that up to 3-3 on the gas. Meanwhile, at his third, he doesn't have any gas coming out as of yet. And don't see any spire or anything else coming down here. Take a look at the proto tab. We do have ourselves actually tunneling claws. So we are going to go with burrowed roaches and banelings. So very good choice of build here. I actually like that build. Very decent, especially in Bronze League. Very impressive to see somebody go with that type of build. And if we take a look up here, the Thor has hit the field. And that's how Thors talk. Thor is here. Thors don't talk like that. Thor is here. That's how they talk. Thor is here. I don't know how to do the Thor voice, but I'm pretty darn close. I would have to imagine that here. So VIDDY is going to get himself a supply block is one more time here. A little bit surprised we don't have the second factory down, but he's just going to build Thors off of 1, and would have to imagine upgrades will come shortly here. So he does have the 1 standing SCV that did finish the armory. Gets himself a little bit of a break. There's the second factory we were looking for. Both these guys macro in the heck. We can probably 2 times these guys as well, as nobody intends on leaving their base as of yet. I just don't see any scans. There we go. There's a scan I was waiting for. So it does see that his opponent is expanded. Lots of banelings coming down. Did not actually scan the banelings as far as I know. So that might have been a little bit of a downfall. He might be in a little bit of trouble once these banelings hit the field here, especially if they end up burrowing past everything. Like, oh, he is getting a tower down, missile turret. Very well done by our good man VIDDY. Very smart. So that will prevent any sort of burrowing through his front door here. There's the second Thor. Very well done there. The tech lab coming down on the second factory. This SCV still gets a little bit of a break, while building an armory on VIDDY's team earns you one hell of a break. I'll tell you that much here. And nothing coming out of the armory as of yet. So very interesting. Wouldn't mind seeing some upgrades, but is putting some upgrades down for his Marauders. So a little bit surprising he doesn't have the upgrades for the Thors as of yet. Is also getting the speed for the banelings, getting the speed for the roaches as well there. So very well done there. And no upgrades on the other end either. So we'll continue to macro this baby up here. Take a look at the unit count. We do have 2 Thors, 8 Marauders, to the 32 Roaches, and 24 Banelings. So it does look like VIDDY is definitely down in unit count here, as expected with the challenge. Of course, here is a tough one to stay ahead of your opponent here. 149, 294 for the army count. And we'll just sit back and watch these guys go. Planetary did go down at his natural here. Very interesting. Like to see planetaries on the map at any point. Planetaries are an awesome building. They're not the most effective by no means at certain locations, but if you put them at your natural, I always condole that. I think that's a very good move to have a planetary at your natural here. Has an overseer as well, so you can tech any sort of cloaked unit. Very well done by Gambit. In the meantime there, it does look like VIDDY is moving himself out, or at least far enough out to take over both Naga Towers. So has full vision on the middle of the map here. Opponent in the meantime there has a lot of overlords. This is the gathering spot for him here. This is like the smoking group here. This group over here is the cool kids all playing basketball. These two are the loners over here. They're playing on their computers. And this one over here, he's just some asshole that's sitting above the base of the bottom of the map here. Still not entirely sure what that one is doing, but either way, he's giving some vision over here. I guess if VIDDY elected to do a hidden expansion, he would detect it. And VIDDY's ready to move out here. He's got it. See, you press the E button, you get the high impact payload, and that is a very decent one there. Definitely helps for air units here. So he's going to move himself to the middle map. Oh, and the opponents there. Mutas are on the map here. And here we go. They're going to go to work here. It is going to be a great big attack. There's a lot of Thors down the field here. They're going to melt away at those good old mutas as expected. So pretty much every muta goes down. And of course, Thors do love banelings. Took out all the banelings pretty much there. Look at that. Melted all the banelings there on his Thors. But at the same time, that might be way too many roaches for him to deal with. These Thors are trying to go at him here. Just not enough of a Thor count here. These roaches are going to clean him up here. Was somewhat even, but at the same time, he did manage to keep himself 35 roaches, and he's going to start pushing here. VIDDY's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. VIDDY only has 1 Thor and 2 Marauders. This isn't going to look good at all here. Hopefully this wall off can help him off. He's going to try going at these banelings here. Banelings are trying to take out that one good old bunker here. They're going to go to work on Thor, pushing themselves in as far as they can here. Should be able to take out Thor. Don't know how VIDDY's going to handle this here, as they does lose the Overseer as well here, but they are going to go to work here. Planetary might be his savings grace. That's why the freaking Planetary is handy at your natural. Very well done. Planetary might be enough to chase him out of here, especially with all the repairing SCVs here. This might be the only reason VIDDY ends up getting this. I would like to see him start pushing towards the main here, as he can get out of range of the Planetary. With all those repairing SCVs here, he's really in a lot of trouble. 3 more Thors coming down the back here. We'll keep them right in range of the Planetary, so very good use of the Thors here. This should be enough with the Planetary in the back. Thors in the front should be able to take out this army quite easily here. Now they're just out of range, but that might be just too many Thors to deal with here, as they are slowly going to melt away, and then they're going to go to work on these Mutalisks here. There he goes. High impact payload is coming, I do imagine here. And he is trying, no, way too many. He's in a lot of trouble one more time. They're actually going to start pushing towards the main. They're going to start trying to supply block VIDDY. Very good job finally giving up on attacking that Planetary. His Planetary is fully built up one more time here. And he is trying to go ahead. VIDDY's got no units on the field. VIDDY is in a lot of trouble. Don't know what VIDDY's going to do. Does he have anything coming out? Oh, no. 3 Thors have hit the field at the same time. This is going to be a lot of trouble. They're going to work on the mutas. They're going to work on the Thors. We'll kill off both those mutas fairly easily here. 1 more muta left there. A couple more shots on that muta. Or at least, there we go. So ends up taking out that army. And VIDDY somehow comes out on top there. Very impressive. Thanks to the Planetary and the repairing of the Planetary. But he's going to continue with the mutas here. Apparently hasn't given up. 10 more mutas are going to move in. They're going to back off and try and get themselves built up a little bit more before he elects to attack one more time here. So he will regroup, rinse, and repeat. Is he actually going to continue to go with the Baneling build here? Not entirely sure. He did actually hide that Spire on me. There's the Spire in the back of his natural. That's why the Spire got out there. So VIDDY will actually have a lot more time to build up. He is now working off of 3 factories. Very good choice there. And we'll get a couple more out there. So he's back up to 5 Thors. His opponent knows the Thors are on the field now, so could elect to get into some Ultralisks or maybe even some Bloodlords would be a very good counter. But he's actually going to start pushing out one more time with the Muta count. Muta count is up to 14 now, so looking pretty heavy there. We'll start to go around Hiccup the outside of the map here, see what he can do, make sure he knows exactly how many expansions VIDDY has. VIDDY has nothing over here, and will continue to fly himself up around the top corner of the map here, and we'll realize that there is nothing at the rock site there, so very well done there. Very good scouting by him so far. We'll get in the back of the base here, and here we go. He's going to go to work, get quite a few SCV kills as VIDDY's not backing off the line. He needs to bring the Thors in here. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs here. There's the Thors. Look at the range on those Thors. They're going to end up chasing all the mutas out here. Mutas are going to fly around a bit more. This is what you need to do. Start controlling. Use the speed of your mutas because they are very useful for harassment. So he is going to come around to the main of VIDDY here. VIDDY will have to try and get the Thors up here, which is exactly what he's doing. Of course, that wall off hurt him a little bit here as Thors can't get in overly fast. And he's trying to take down a few of these supply depots. Finds himself the sweet spot. And we'll kill off a couple of them here, but at the same time, VIDDY has a ton of supply depots, enough extra food there where it's not going to hurt him. There's the range one more time. Very well done there. Does end up chasing one of the base here. He's continuing to try and find his sweet spot, and will actually force a little bit of a retreat. So he's going to sit on the outside of the base. Gambit quite comfortable there. In the meantime, he has massed himself quite a few more roaches back at his base. That is up to 30 roaches with the 12 mutas on the field here. Is this all 12? This is all 12 right up here. In the meantime, there it does look like VIDDY is actually going to push across. Very good move by VIDDY. Has his Thor count up to 8. That is a lot of Thors moving across the map. Needs to get it bunched up. Hopefully doesn't end up getting a split off here and attacked, as he does head up to the Naga Tower. So we'll plant them all up there. In the meantime, there, does he have any more building? No more building as of yet. Does have the gas and the mineral count to do so if he chooses. And we'll mass him at the bottom of the ramp. And here we go. Roach is going to come out here. Thors are going to go to work on him. Thors are very good against roaches, I will say that there. But at the same time, that is a ton of roaches. But these Thors are holding their own here. 6 Thors now, trying to do the best they can. Mutas are trying to counter here at the same time. Very well done. Will manage to take out most of those supply depots here. And these Thors actually clean up on the roaches here. He's going to send some more towards the main base there. Of course, I don't think they're going to get past that planetary. He's continuing to push forward. VIDDY's feeling pretty good about this there. He's going to melt away at the rest of the roaches, melt away at the mutas. Mutas are useless against Thors. There they go. The high impact payload going down on the mutas here. Turns around. Will finish off the rest of those roaches. Might end up losing one more. No, does not lose another Thor. But at the same time, did end up losing all of his mutas at the other end there. So very well done by VIDDY so far. He is pushing ahead, putting the pressure on here. 3 Thors. I don't know if this is going to be enough to do the job here, but his opponent in the meantime isn't bringing in any more units. Only has the 4 roaches at the other end here. Have to imagine they're all getting melted by the planetary. Yes, they are. Don't know why they're attacking the planetary, but either way there, does get out a few more roaches at the other end. He's down to 2 Thors now. VIDDY needs to start building some Thors here. And at the same time, I do believe that's exactly what he's doing. Yes, he is. 3 more Thors are coming out here. He's going to melt away at the rest of these roaches here. Thors are just overpowering against these. Wowzer, just go to work. Might actually end up taking out the lair, but we'll have to go to work at the rest of these roaches at the back end here, and we'll take them out quite easily. 2 more roaches left here, and we'll finish them off as well, and start going to finish off this lair. I'd have to imagine VIDDY's backing off here. He doesn't really have any hit points, has 2 and 12 on that one there. 1 more roach comes out, does get the lair kill. Very well done there. And we'll get the other 3 coming out here fairly quick. In the meantime there, VIDDY still did not lose his base. Like I say, that planetary just super powerful, especially when he keeps bringing in small amounts of roaches. That definitely makes it a little bit easier on VIDDY. And he has himself some marauders in to complement this army as well here. He has himself layers everywhere on the map, making sure he's got enough layer technology out there. In the meantime there, he's going right back to roaches. Apparently he feels roaches are the counter to the Thors. I have to disagree with that. But either way there, VIDDY does. Oh, wow. This looks like we're going to see 2 planetaries go down at the front end by the looks of it here. Very interesting on a VIDDY here. Unless he's going to use these to expand, we'll soon find out. But I have to imagine they're going to be for the wall off. In the meantime, there did get out a few more dogs. I don't know if he thinks banelings might be the answer to the planetary, but he does have dogs on the field either way here. Actually, I was going to say could be due to his gas count, but his gas count's at freaking 2,300. So he could really get into an ultralist build, but of course doesn't have himself down any sort of hive technology, but does get himself down another hatchery. There's the infestation pit, so he could definitely elect to get the hive technology if he chooses to do so, to at least get himself some ultras, which would be the hard counter, or maybe even into some Bloodlords, which would be the real hard counter to these Thors here. Oh, so we will sit here and wait to see what these are going to be here. Like I say, probably going to be planetaries, as he does have his 3rd going way over here. So very good job by VIDDY. And Thor count is getting right back up there, right back up to 5 Thors, 5 mutas. And banelings was his choice. Like I say, banelings not the best choice. Banelings is probably the worst unit you could have chose to build here. And are we going to go right into planetaries? Or are we just going to sit there? Yes, it does look like he's got them highlighted. This could be the time for planetary. I love seeing planetary fortress walls. They're pretty sick and tough to take down unless you have a massive air army. So he does have a fairly high banling count though. Wow, 24 banlings on the map. Very well done there. And VIDDY in the meantime there is going with the planetary on the 1. Now I have to imagine planetary on the 2nd will get going here pretty quick. Does need some more gas. That is for darn sure. VIDDY with his high gas build has run right out, has mined out one of his gas here. In the meantime there, he does have the 3rd, which will definitely help him with that gas. And we'll sit back and relax for a little bit as both these guys macro up. We do have 16 more banelings coming onto the map there. That will give himself a count of 40. VIDDY has himself up to 6 Thors. No more building as his gas just isn't there. Did he actually get upgrades for the Thors? Yes, he did. 1, 2. Very good upgrades on your Thors, my good man. 2, 1 for the Marauders. So not looking too bad as far as your upgrade count goes here. And his opponent in the meantime there, like I say, he's going with probably the worst counter he could, which is banelings. The Thors love banelings. Planetaries love banelings. And they also love roaches as well. Like I say, he's probably got 2 of the worst units. The only thing he could do worse is put some dogs on the map there. But either way, he's looked pretty good so far. If you go massive roaches, you have a little bit of a chance with banelings. But at the same time there, you probably need like 8 or 9 of them to kill off a Thor. You need like 6 million to kill off a planetary. So don't think it's the best of moves. VIDDY does a scan. VIDDY's got to like what he sees with that mass amount of banelings there. Because that, they're going to use a lot of them just to kill 2 or 3, maybe even 3 at most for the Thors here. In the meantime there, he does get the double gas. Very well done. And that's pretty much all he's mining at his expansions on his 3rd here. So very well done by VIDDY. In the meantime there, his opponent is pretty much mined out at his 3rd. You might want to look at putting a 4th hatchery down here. He has given right up on the mutas here. No more mutas are going to come on the map here. With his high gas count, I would have thought we would have seen possibly, like I say, some sort of hive technology here. But that is not the case. And does he have hive anywhere? No. Layer down over there and layer over here. So definitely not even going to get in the hive technology. VIDDY here is going to continue to amass up here. Probably look for a few more Thors. There's one more coming out. Very well done there. And I can hear my dog in the background. Looks like he wants to go out to the washroom, which is probably where I'll head after this game here. If anybody elects to move, or maybe we'll just sit back, relax, and keep Tractor shooting his seat here. We're going with another command center here. So VIDDY looking really good on the macro game, and we'll say that much here. Opponent is finally going to go Swarm Host. Not a bad choice. That is another good counter to the Thors. So very well done with the Swarm Host. At least he's electing to go something decent here. What is his larva count? Is sitting at a whopping 4 on 3 base. Isn't the best for larva count. Needs to start getting his larva injects in here. Gets down a macro hatch. Very good choice there. So we'll sit back and relax for a little bit. VIDDY looks like he's ready to push out here. Has a double planetary at the front entrance. So has something to at least fend this off as his opponent does counter. But VIDDY is not too intent on moving out here. Look at his opponent count. Wow, $5,600 and 2,400 gas. Really needs to start larva injecting or get down at least 2 more macro hatches here, as he does have a lot of idle. Drones could expand maybe 1 or 2 more times as well. All these overlords still sitting over here doing absolutely nothing. Might want to start using them for a little bit of scouting. VIDDY in the meantime has map control, has both Naga towers. Opponent's ready to move out. He's at 157 food. Here he goes. That is a lot of baneling count. 82 banelings altogether. Has 7 swarm hosts on the map here. And VIDDY can see him right there. VIDDY says, I see you in behind my smoke tower on my Naga tower. There we go. They're going to walk right past that. They don't really care that VIDDY has a idle SCV there. So they will continue to push ahead here. He's going to probably burrow his swarm host, I would have to imagine. But if they're going to run in this planetary, this is not going to go overly well for him. And he is going to push ahead. VIDDY's trying to build a tower. That's not going to go overly well. Now they see the matchup here. VIDDY needs to fall in behind the planetaries. Look at how many roaches it. Wow, it takes just a ton of banelings. All these banelings are melting themselves here. They're going to work. Planetaries there. VIDDY needs some vision here. Needs a scan. Otherwise, this is going to be big trouble. There's the scan go down. Now needs to move out all these Thors. Very well done. Push those Thors ahead. Thors are going ahead here. Needs to lay down maybe 1 more scan. This one might run out pretty soon. Or maybe he did lay it down there. 1 more scan should do it here. But VIDDY's just going to push ahead. Or there's the scan. That'll finish off the last few swarm hosts. So that didn't go overly well. 103 to 75 for food count. And VIDDY's ready to start pushing this baby ahead here. Gambit doesn't even want to see the ending of this one. So my congrats to you, VIDDY. That was actually a pretty sick game. I'll give you that. I did like that one. My condolences to you, Gambit. I will leave you with this. If you've ever seen the paper on the wall, the sign in the trees, the branches on the ground, I used to throw ducks in my lagoon there when I grew up there. We had a lagoon. Every time that we had dead animals on our farm, because our dog would kill animals a lot there, like little animals there, chickens as well. We had foxes, would kill them, and we throw them into the lagoon, right? So it was kind of neat there because we go out there and you literally see these dead animals, and I thought it was kind of cool. They would kind of be floating in there, and then they would sink. It was like full of dead animals. Not full, but it was kind of full. This is back in the day. You know, we didn't live on sewer. We lived way out on the farm. So the lagoon was pretty nasty. It didn't really stink. It was far enough away from the house, which was kind of cool. But then I came inside there, and I couldn't believe it there. I had a ham sandwich on the table. But you be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.